I have a police officer online. Mark, come on in. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Talk to me now. Did you? I hope you heard the entire blog. Did you?
I did.
Great. What's your thoughts? Frank.
I guess
to be very frank.
I'll try to keep it a smaller scope and just reference these last two incidents.
Yes.
I'm not going to be able to solve, or I can't solve the issue with policing in America or what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I would suggest is that part of the problem is we are such an instant gratification society that the bodies were not even cold with these gentlemen before there were people rioting in the street.
How long have you been a police officer?
27 years.
Great. Oh, so you're a long timer. Okay, go ahead, my friend.
The society now asks police officers to do so many different jobs, to be mental health workers, to be social workers, to basically to do a whole bunch of jobs they never did in the past.
Right.
And until that's addressed, and you stop asking the police force in general to be doing the jobs of five other different
agencies,
five other people should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be. I'm not an expert mental health worker. I'm not a social worker.
Right.
Even though I've had to deal with these situations in the past, you can't expect me to do everything and do everything perfectly.
Now, let me just say, Mark, and I'm going to get a little political here, because first of all, what you just said about we're trying to get you to do everything is true. It's bad. It is horrendous. And that's why a whole lot of times it offends me, and I'm being political right now, when police organizations support policies and people and organizations that instead of funding the agencies that would take the load off of police officers, that would fund police officers so that they can really do policing, that would fund police officers so that they can be trained appropriately. Because like I stated in the blog post, we all know that police officers reflect society. I'm pretty sure in your office, you know that there are good police officers and there are racist police officers. I know you know that for a fact. You don't have to tell me. I know you know that. So my next question to you is this. Why is it that knowing that I know that you know that you and you as well, that more don't speak up? You talk about when the incidents like Charlotte occurs, how people immediately went to the street. Don't you think there's a genesis to that? There's a reason why they did that because of years of what never went unreported?
I think there's a myriad of reasons why they do that. That among them, yeah. I don't think you can cite one cause or one thing. Sure, I think it's a lot of build-up over time. I agree. And I think, I will be the first one to tell you, if police officers don't want bad police officers to work. I don't want to work with a bad police officer. I want to work with a dirty police officer.
But would you tell on a bad police officer?
Of course I would.
Okay.
And I think, the whole blue wall of silence thing, that's a myth from, a 70s TV movie. That's just not the society we live in anymore. You could talk to people that police back in the 50s and 60s. There was a whole lot of stuff that went on that there's no way that would go over in today's society. It just doesn't happen. The society's changed. The values have changed. I'm not going to cover up for somebody who's doing something illegal, immoral, or unethical. I'm just not going to do it. And I don't know anybody that I've worked with that would either.
Well, Mark, let me be frank with you. In listening to you, I believe you. In other words, I believe that you aren't going to do that. I also believe that you believe what you're saying. I honestly do. The problem is, how many officers are there in Houston?
Oh, thousands. I mean, I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Exactly. And how many precincts are there with different leaders within those precincts? Hundreds.
Yeah, I get where you're going. I mean, obviously, just by the fact of the numbers, there's going to be bad apples in there.
Right.
Of course there are, yeah.
And what I would want out of that, however, is when we find those bad apples, for guys like you, when you see certain things on TV, for guys like you, what would give a whole lot of the community confidence is that you don't always come out in defense of, you come out in defense of your profession. Absolutely. I defend your profession. I mean, let me just give you a little caveat here. I was coming here to the station, and all the other callers, I'm coming to you guys as well, my friends. I was coming here to the station, and I got pulled over. And as a black man, I'm always scared when I'm pulled over by a cop. And you may not feel that. I feel that. And
I'm scared when I get pulled over, too. So.
Okay, good. All right. So anyway, I'm telling you about me, however. Now, so I get scared. This cop pulled me over, and he was very, very nice. He was very, very respectful. And I'm a blogger as well, a full-time blogger. The first thing I did, I did the show. I went home, and I wrote a blog. about the police officer. I also asked the police officer for a picture. I went ahead and I posted it. The guy got a community commendation or whatever it is that you guys call that there. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we are not, when you hear me talk about police officers, I am not looking to be downing on police officers. What I'm looking for is a solution. What I believe is we need solutions, and we need to get cops to stop being fearful unnecessarily of people who look like me. And I'm sure the facts, the facts I think speak for themselves. And that is, if most of the accidents or the fearful type shooting, or I feel my life was in danger, occur with people looking like me, then you must admit some training is needed to counteract those cops' biases. Don't you agree?
Sure.
Okay, so great. We are on the same team, my friend.
No, I didn't doubt that for a second.
Let me ask you to do one thing for the community right now. And that is, assure this Houston community that most of the times things are all right, and that folks like cops like you, good ones, are going to make sure of that.
We're doing our best. That's all I can tell you is we try to do our best every day. And bear with us, and we'll get through it together.
Well, look, Mark, it was a pleasure speaking to you. And first, I want to say thank you for calling into the show, because I think communication is one of the most important things, my friend.
Sure thing. I'll see you every week.
Oh, well, great. I appreciate that, buddy. You have a great one, okay?
You too.
Take care, my friend.
All right.
Bye-bye.